Feeling this fine morning? Groovy? Right on. Seems you got a little group experience going. All right. The innate capacity to care, the guiding light of compassion and quest for peacefulness, is the utmost essential trait that continuously ensures survival and spark to strive as a whole throughout the human experience. In taking a look, we can see this around us day in and day out. A stranger assisting someone across the street, picking up a hitchhiker, and arguably one of the most personal of tasks, changing a diaper. No worries, I got the toilet thing down. As you may recognize in looking around you right now, just point that in there, we are all here for more or less the same reason: enlightenment. From the pearls of wisdom that are brought about by the community's vibrant curiosity and the questioning force and hopes of ascertaining an honest answer to what are we doing here and how can we make the best of it. As many of you may already know, and to those who don't, here you go. A principle that could freeze religious war dead in its tracks and allow us as intellectual and spiritual beings to find each of our truly unique, personal, and loving way home. Acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth within our congregations. So I invite you to understand that this is why we care about religion. Its power to assure you aren't alone in times of a confusing darkness is eternal, overwhelming, wondrous, and truly awesome.
I'm often asked, Megan, how do you do so much? And I never really have a good answer. I like being busy, but more importantly, I care about a lot of different activities and aspects of the world around me. This is how I function. To some extent, it is necessary for me to step back and decide if my efforts can really go that far. Is my own well-being being compromised in the interest of others? Sometimes the answer to that question is yes. That is a sacrifice I'm willing to make for something that I deeply care about. For example, last year I assistant directed the musical at my high school. I spent every afternoon in the theater for hours on end, running scenes, feeding lines, organizing. But because I saw how much my efforts were beneficial, I gave up my time, sleep, and energy to see a wonderful finished product. However, we can't always see the repercussions of our actions. When you drop a large stone into a lake, you rarely can see the outermost ripples. Compassionate actions have immense ripples as well, and we can rarely see their full effect. So, in answering the question of how far caring can go, I don't know that there is an answer. I don't know that our actions ever have an end. As Adam mentioned, we are all coexisting in one large web. One event in which I have experienced the expansive ripples that an act of caring can perpetuate occurred when I was almost 4 years old. I'd gone to a homeless shelter with my mother. We were there for a holiday gathering for volunteers. There was a man sitting in a corner coloring on this stick. The man was named Mike, and this stick was one of his few possessions. The remainder of his possessions all fit in one small backpack. I saw the stick and all of its intricate designs and bright colors and became very interested. I spent the conclusion of the party galloping around the shelter on what I saw as a perfectly good horse. When we were leaving, I went to return the stick to Mike, but he said that he wanted me to have it. I took it home, and my father glued felt to the bottom so that it wouldn't scratch our wood floors. I named it Rosie and kept it through 3 moves, 2 states, and a lot of love. Mike showed me that kind-hearted actions don't always look the way that we expect. He didn't have a lot of material items and not very much to give in that sense, but he did have a whole lot of love, and that he was willing to share as much as he could. The ripples that Mike produced in my life and I'm guessing in those of many others, were purely good. I strive to accomplish that in my life as well. There's no way for this to be achieved solely by caring. It takes acting upon those cares as well. I hope that throughout my life, I will continue to act and work for causes, events, projects, activities, and people that mean something to me. And I wish the same for you. Nothing will happen in this world if we sit around and wait for the change that we wish to see. It takes us going out and doing something. You are now invited into a time of meditation and prayer, a time to set down anything that is in your hands and become aware of your breathing and the breathing of the people around you. We begin with words adapted from Reverend Richard Gilbert. Come into a circle of caring. Come into a community of gentleness, of justice and love. Come, and you shall be refreshed. Let the healing power of this people penetrate you. Let loving kindness and joy pass through you. Let home infuse you, and peace be the law of your heart. In this human circle, caring is a calling, and all of us are called. Let us rest in quiet in this space together. We give thanks for this community of caring and the opportunities to support one another in difficult times. Jane Ramsey is asking for prayers and good thoughts for her mother, Sheila Kennedy, who began hospice care this week. Sheila welcomes visitors, cards, and phone calls. Good thoughts to Yvonne Foote, who is at home fighting for kidney function. As a community of caring, we also celebrate the large and small joys that bless our lives. We welcome to the world Luna Rosa, born after 65 hours of labor, to two of Reverend Chris's best friends, Dan and Florian. May we know, Linda Laskowski is remembering her mother, who would have been 100 next Tuesday, and Donna Davis, who shares the same birthday and is very much alive. May we know that all of our worries and joys are held in caring embrace of this community and a love larger than ourselves. May each of us be a part of that caring circle. Amen. Blessed be.